your girl Jay, and welcome to Weekly Roundup, a show where I talk about the hottest things that happened in K-pop this week. Where today, Ijanun, open your eyes. Okay, actually I'm not even gonna talk about that, so I don't know why I did that. So let's start with some messy fandom wars. So on last week's episode of the weekly music show Music Core, NBC decided to spice it up with a handful of special stages, including two that kind of spawned this just messy fan war. How it went down was that trendy girl groups Gfriend and Twice switched songs. So Twice did this cute stage of Me Gustas 2, and Gfriend tackled Twice's Ooh Ah Hage. So you're probably thinking, if you're like normal, you're probably like me, like saying, oh my gosh, goody goody, this is so adorable. Unfortunately, in K-pop, we can't have nice things, we just can't. And it just spawned like World War IV, with people critiquing each performance, saying that they were bad, that they would never live up to the other group's appeal, that they looked awkward, that this, that, and the third. Now, I think the one statement that I feel like maybe was probably the most valid was that each group is better with the concepts they were given. Not to say either of the performances weren't adorable. In fact, I actually thought that Yuju, Sowon, and Shinbi really fit the Twice cheerleading concept, and I thought that Sana and Chaeyoung really killed the cute, innocent concept that Gfriend had. But I can understand, I feel like each group's like forte is the concepts that they currently have. But other than that, people were throwing stones, comparing, you know, how Yuju sang the high note in Ooh Ah versus how Jihyo usually sings it. People were criticizing how Jihyo tackled Yuju's high note in Me Gustas 2, criticizing the energy in this, that, and the third. And I just feel like it was so weird because is it because it's Twice and Gfriend and because they're very trendy groups now that also starts a lot of haters? And I just feel like, why are people so bent on ruining great things? And honestly, no shade, but when I first came into K-pop, it was just like a known fact that stans of boy groups were crazy, insane, they'd get jealous easily of other groups, things like that. But I'm starting to find out that like fans of girl groups are equally crazy, yo. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel like you can have a preference. Like if you thought that one person did a better job, there's no problem in expressing that. However, you can express you really liked somebody's performance or how they did it without ragging on another group and what they did. Like, I don't know why people don't get this concept, but it is a thing. Also, I want to point out, on that same episode, 17 did a medley of girl group songs. Y'all should check that out because that was so sick. Oh my gosh, like, they're so talented and I love them so much, 17. And I'm about to see them at KCON New York. Moving on, Jellyfish Entertainment recently announced that they're gearing up to finally debut a new girl group. Now, though they didn't specify when that new girl group would be debuting, rumors are going around that the girl group's debut may be this year, which means that it will coincide with IOI promotions. Now, the problem is two girls that are set to debut in this group, Mina and Sejong, are currently doing promotions and will promote for the next 10 months with IOI. So a lot of people are saying that Jellyfish is being very irresponsible and greedy, making the debut of the Jellyfish girls coincide with IOI promotions. Now, I understand why they're doing it. They want to maximize the amount of popularity and attention they can get with this Jellyfish group. And if these groups were to cross promote, it would be very easy for Jellyfish to take advantage of the opportunities that Sejong and Mina might get for being an IOI. And it just overall, a lot of people feel like it would just disrupt the flow of IOI promotions, which it probably would, because if you have, you know, two girls working in two different groups at once, that's very confusing. Now, this whole IOI thing is getting more confusing and just complicated as things go on. Like, the idea in general was very smart, but I feel like with a bunch of people who come next year aren't going to be in this group anymore, I feel like everything is very individual focused. Usually when somebody gets like a solo activity on something, the main goal is to bring the fame and popularity and the exposure back to their group. So if like Hyorin goes on Hello Counselor, she'll probably talk about her group, and the whole idea is to promote whatever Sistar is doing. With IOI, even though they will be doing IOI promotions this year, I feel like at the end of the day, the most important thing to these girls, especially in their company's eyes, if them themselves get popular. So yeah, you want to be like, oh, I'm a part of IOI, but at the same time, you want to be like, okay, but I'm also me, and make sure you care about me, because when I go back to my group, I'm all I have to make sure this group is popular. So it's just a weird toss-up where I don't think the company, like, not everyone in the sense has the same goal, and so it's kind of hard to move as a unit in that sense. But overall, I definitely do think that Jellyfish should be cool. Be cool, dude, and just like hold off on the debut. I mean, it sucks for the girls who are literally waiting for Mina and Sejong to come back so they can do this. But like, I feel like the group members owe it to each other to, at least for this year, just focus and put their 100% in IOI and see how far they can like push each other and make each other go. So last but not least, I guess it's come full circle because it was announced that Suzy from Miss A would be having a solo debut. Now, while a lot of Suzy fans and a lot of K-pop fans were very excited because she showed a lot of promise with her duet this year with EXO's Baekhyun, a lot of people saw this as the final knife in the back to Miss A. So, I mean, I feel like if you know K-pop, you know the whole story about how Suzy kind of blossomed into this huge stardom, and a lot of people do feel, and I feel like rightly so, I feel like it's fair for us to say that her becoming a big star kind of dampened Miss A's success, as they had to work around Suzy's schedule, and so, you know, Miss A comebacks became less and less of a priority because Suzy was becoming this big star. So just last year they came back with Only You, which was a hit, but it kind of seemed like instead of building on that momentum with Only You, they kind of just had that comeback and then went away. Like, again, it was just like old times. Like, they just didn't do anything after that. I thought it was weird because if you have such a successful song, you're gonna want to ride that. But it almost seemed like they came back last year just to be like, hey guys, we're still here. Hey, we can make, okay, bye, see ya. And so with, you know, Suzy having this debut, musically, a lot of people were very skeptical because the one thing is that even though Suzy's movies and things like that kind of determine when they can have Miss A comebacks, or have an effect on when they can have Miss A comebacks because Suzy has to be available to be there, it was always like, well, Miss A will always be a necessity because Suzy doesn't do the singing music thing by herself. But now she's literally just gonna choose singing over here. So a lot of people are worried that this may mean the end of Miss A. Now, I don't think that Suzy shouldn't be doing this. I don't think we should penalize Suzy herself for how Miss A turned out and how that management turned out. And I don't think just because, you know, Miss A is a musical group, she should forgo doing a solo album if that's what she wants to do. However, I do understand fans' concern with this because if Suzy's out here making music, I could see maybe some of these like execs over at JYP being like, if Suzy can make money via acting by herself, and Suzy can make money via CFs by herself, and Suzy can make money via music by herself, what do we need these other three girls for? And I don't think that will be like the death of all their careers. I think they'll do things individually still, but I feel like that might result in them keep continuing to not prioritize Miss A as a musical group. So that's my opinion on the things that happened this week, but of course, guys, I want to know yours. Do you think Suzy's solo means the end of Miss A? Do you think that Jellyfish should hold on with debuting their new girl group, or do you think they should strike while the iron's hot? And lastly, what do you think about this dumb Gfriend versus Twice war? I want to know, which performance did you enjoy, and what two groups do you think have the craziest fan wars among fans? I would have to say that EXO versus Big Bang fans that happened last summer, that was crazy, y'all. People were calling them bombs, and I was scared for my life, and I wasn't even in it. Let me know down below, and see you next time on Weekly Wrap Up. Bye.